any case, I guess we can get back to it. How is the movements for you, Amy? Or should I call you Jackson? Good? Good. Okay, cool. Well, we will keep on going. Looks like we are recording and perfect. Okay, well, let's just finish off that one movement. Gathering the sun to press the earth. Again, we're kind of gathering, kind of stretching. This is a big round movement. We're gathering all of this solar energy and we're taking it to warm up the kidneys on the back. Here, even as we stretch, whether we're sinking our tailbone or we're pushing our hips out, still want to pay attention to our, what? Are we still here? Okay. Sorry, I had a computer thing switch. Okay, so we still want to pay attention to our feet. So even as we're stretching, it's easy just to pay attention to the feeling of the stretch. But here we want to make sure we're activating the whole body still. Down. Here, we're going to take a somewhat of a wider stance. This is the one new move we get to do today. Yeah, this is basically, it's a horse stance, I just kind of step into it, but something my teachers did is they would do toes out, all the way out, heels all the way out. I don't know if you can see my feet, and then toes straight. And then that should get you about wide enough for a horse stance. Again, most important thing here is the knees kind of stay over the feet. And then if possible, we keep the knees, with the intention to point the knees in the same direction as the feet. So that includes both the pressing outwards on the legs, as well as this, and maybe this is something that takes some time. So if it seems very abstract the first time, I'll try and get better at explaining in the future, but it's something you need to think about for some time too. So we're pushing the knees out and then having the intention to point the kneecaps forward with the overall goal of just activating the whole leg so that the energy can flow cleanly throughout all of the tissues and therefore support the knee. And from here, we're gonna come up and sink down. Here we're sinking down enough so that it puts some strain on our thighs. So we kind of want to activate the thighs a little bit, and if possible, we don't want it to be so much of a leaning forward, but as much as possible, we want to straight back here. So straight up and down. Sometimes with a more narrow stance, that can be a bit difficult. And sometimes we need to lean forward, but here we really want to have this kind of weight almost on the back of the feet, and straight back. Here, come in, sink down. Here we're gonna draw the bow. So I have a fist over here and a hand over here. I'm gonna open up the chest. So I'm really drawing this bow. So drawing, and then releasing. Here you can keep the hands straight, just as fists, or if you want to do a hand-eye coordination thing, you can release your arrow as 2 fingers, and then the pulling hand, you can use the 2 opposite fingers. Just so here that's a minor detail, but here we're pulling and then releasing. And here my gaze stays where my bow is shooting. So I'm pulling and releasing, pulling and releasing. And other side. Here, pulling. And here, even though I'm pulling in one direction, this hand that's out, it's still extending outwards. So we want a feeling of, even as I'm pulling, this hand is still extending outwards. And it's not like a gross extension outwards, it's very subtle, like I'm just extending, still keeping this arm active. Okay. So we put that whole thing together, breathing in and out, and sinking as low as provides a little bit of challenge. Go to the right, pulling and releasing. Up. Other side. Pulling, and here we're pulling as if to open up all the tissues in the chest. On the left side. And last one. Make this one count. Feeling warm? Yeah. Okay. So that brings us into the Taiji form. As we learn more of that set, we'll be able to move faster with less instruction and then be able to focus, well, learn more movements, but then focus more on the energetic aspects of it too, which make it so nourishing. Here, let's see. Yeah. So feet together. Just kind of bringing your attention back to your breathing. Arms gently at the sides. Still with some space in the armpits. Here, gonna activate the right hand. Sink that right hand into the earth. So it's as if it's becoming a pull in the earth. Stepping out with the left foot on the heel, about shoulder width apart, maybe a little bit more. Here, hands come up as I rise under the balls of my foot. And the hands come down as I sink into the heels. Rising up. Up. Down. This is the wood energy rising and the metal energy falling. Energy of spring and energy of fall. We want to make this more of a full body stretch. This is the opening movement in Taiji, by the way, but if we want to make this more of a full body stretch, we can use opposition force. So while my hands are lifting, I'm sinking through the heels and the tailbone. As the hands come back, I'm pulling the rest of my body forward, so opening up the chest. As the hands fall, my body sinks at first with the hands, but then comes up at the very last moment. And then we repeat, so as the hands come up, my heels and tailbone are sinking down. Hands coming back. The body pulls forward, pulling the body forward. Hands come down, sinking, lifting. Am I moving too quickly? I can't, because I know since I practice this, it's very easy for me to like relax my tailbone and sink my heels in the floor. Are you guys able to feel like make those connections?
Yeah, I think the speed has been fine with everything except for last week with some of this stuff. I couldn't quite figure out like which arm, but everything else has been fine.
Okay. And how about for you?
Yeah, I think it's going slow enough. I would agree with the arm movements I struggled with, but right now what you did was slow enough.
Okay, perfect. Well, Tai Chi, the slower the better.
Yeah.
Unless you're in a fight. And you have to practice those movements slowly to do them right in the first place before you can speed them up. Okay, well, we will get to some of the hand movements today too, and just focus on just a few. So if I had someone to demonstrate on, this is somebody's hands are on your shoulders and you're kind of hitting them underneath the wrist with the top of your wrist. And it's kind of a disarming move. And then as soon as their hands move away, there's the more of like, okay, I moved away your hands and now I'm hitting you in the shoulder or hitting you right in the chest. Not that you need to know that, but some people are interested in that kind of stuff. So, and Taiji originally was a martial art. Okay. Anyways, so here we have this rising up as the heels and tailbone sink. Hands as the body pulls forward, pulling the body forward. Sinking. Hands sink as the body lifts. One more time. Try and do it on your own. Again, in the beginning, you can kind of let your body, just focus on the movements and let your body breathe naturally. I think you'll find in Taiji that normally when you're going up, well, normally when you're like here, going up is often an inhale. Going down is an exhale. But again, yeah, I would just focus more on the movements in the beginning and kind of let your body find its own rhythm. From here, we're gonna practice. Oh, looks like we just started to enjoy that one. So here we practice posting. So I'm standing a little bit farther than shoulder width apart. And here we just want to focus on the feeling of about 90% of our weight being on one side. If it feels like our knee is taking up too much, taking a lot of the stress, we want to first spread the toes on the ground. And then second, we want to move our weight so that it's closer to the back of our foot than the front of our foot. And that should help engage muscles that will take the strain off of the knee. Shifting. And even here, as we shift side to side, we really want to focus on keeping the hips square forward and relaxing that whole region. And even though about 90% of our weight is going to be on one side at one time, we still want to put about, we still want energy in the other foot. And we do that just by gently pressing down through that foot that doesn't have weight. So from here, we feel pretty good about posting. Hips stay forward, but the torso upper body turns. So we're shifting. Keeping the tailbone tucked and turning the upper body. Shifting and turning the torso. Shifting and turning the torso. Again, the reason why we keep the hips square, it's not only good for stability, but as you might discover, we're kind of dredging the fascia, which again just helps with lymphatic drainage and but also just general circulation. Okay, so any questions or observations on that before we add in the hands? Nope. All right. So from here, we, yeah. So it's as if we're gathering, I don't know, gathering marshmallows and putting them in a bin. So here, I'm on my left side. I gather, and my chest center, so here's where it gets tricky. My hips are square forward. My weight's on my left foot. My chest center moves always with the palm of my hand. So I'm gathering, my chest center is facing the palm of my hand. If I can't turn my upper body, it's more important that it's more important that my hands stay where I can turn, stay within where I can turn my upper body. So I don't want my hand out here. I want my hips square and just my hand going as far as I can turn the upper body without compromising the hips. And just a final word about this movement. I know if I haven't practiced for a while, I spend a lot of time just on one side, just kind of relaxing my hips. Again, the warm-ups we did with the hips can be really helpful, but I really spend, it can take a while to really connect with the hips and let them relax while in this position. And then to be able to keep them kind of active even while my upper body is turning. Okay. So here we're gonna kind of put it together, and that'll complete for us the first part of the Taiji form. This whole part that we'll put together is for the 5 directions, which in Chinese medicine, the 5th direction is the center, and it's associated with the earth element. So here we'll start with feet together. Bring attention back to the breathing. Surrendering any tension into the earth. Trigger the right hand. As if sinking a pole into the earth. Putting all the weight on the right side while stepping out the left. Shifting side to side. Front to back. Finding the spot perfectly in the center. Here, commence, rising wood. Pulling the body forward. Falling metal. Here, we're gonna post to the left, gathering the water. Posting to the right, putting out the fire, gathering the fire. Fire and water mix, become ashes, or become the earth. Do that a couple more times. Rising wood. Falling metal. Gathering the water. Again, checking your posting. Checking your hips. Other side. Gathering the fire. Here. As we rise up, the heels sink to the earth. And one last time, and this time, This time I'm going to, we'll just go through the form. I'm not expecting you to remember any part of that, but you know, follow as best you can, and it'll just be like a kind of a little preview, if you will. Here, activating the right hand, sinking into the earth. Stepping out right. Oh, hold on. Sorry, I'm mirroring you guys. So stepping out on the left. Rising wood. Falling metal. Here's bad. Gathering to the left. Gathering from the right. From here, just do your best. Here, wiping a window. Hold a ball. Left hand is on top, right hand on bottom. Stepping into a bow stance, ward off. Roll back. Press. Push. Here, turning. Turning. Weight on the right foot. Forming a crane's beak, all fingers touch. Sinking. Stepping. Splitting. And feet come back to center. Gathering. Settling. And left foot comes in. And final closing. Breathing in. And out. Right hand on bottom, left hand on top. Just returning to the breath. And slowly separate the hands. And we make our little seal. So again, if we remember, that's thumb on the pointer finger, and then the other fingers kind of just together in a fist, and it's just a light fist. These are the metal channels of Chinese medicine, and the idea, we're just going to seal in the energy and the learning that we did today, so that it can be whole and complete before moving on to whatever the day brings. And separate hands. Great. Well, I normally would be a little bit more relaxed on that ending sequence, but I know it looks like the Zoom is
About that.
yeah. I guess if we have more questions and it runs out, we can always just do what we just did. But are there any observations?
I think even without practice, the stuff we repeated was way easier this time. So I can see why, if you practice it, it'd probably get pretty easy after a while and have that nice flow and feel good.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely how it is, and that's why I'm just on repeat. It for me helps too, because each of the movements has a lot of depth and many ways you could practice it too. So yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. That felt a bit easier today, which is nice. I felt kind of lost last week, so.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of information in the beginning, and definitely practice helps, and then just repetition as well. And I think the real nourishment comes once you've gotten a little bit farther than just the surface. Mm-hmm. And that's when you can really relax and settle into the energetics of the movement. And it's not like you mastered it ever, because there's always more to do in the journey of kind of getting to know your body and being more relaxed within it. So.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be here same time next week. So.
All right, we'll see you then.
Okay, perfect.
Have a good weekend. Have a good week.
Yeah, you guys too. And I'll try and take care of the Zoom thing so that we're, not.
Okay.
So cool.
See you then.
Oh, and I'll send a YouTube link too.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah. Take care. Have a great weekend. Study hard.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. Bye.